Yes, people, welcome back to another stream on the channel. This is Southgate. We're going to talk about him. Southgate stream. But no, I'm not. This is not by myself. I've got a couple of guests waiting for me in the back room. I'm going to bring up Ollie. How you doing?
Good.
That's good. Southgate. Southgate is ruining us, man. He's ruining us, but his way is we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about Maguire's quotes as well. And yeah, man, and other people backing Maguire as well. So yeah, next guest is Ryan. How you doing, Ryan?
Hello there. Yes, I'm very well, thank you. I hope you're well too.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Marnie, you guys should know him. How you doing, Marnie?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, I can't say the same about England, obviously, but if you're a Scotland fan, I think you'll be over the moon. And, a lot of people don't really like the international break that much. But for me, when I started watching football, I really only started watching it when the World Cup was on. I was never really into club football too much. So international football will always be something close to my heart. And the biggest issue is that sometimes if you grow up in England where you in a town where you don't have a football team, it's like, who can you identify with, So at least with supporting England, I can identify with them. Will you knock that off, son? Seriously. I mean, I try to be scrupulous and mute myself. This fella.
No, wait. I'm trying to watch on playback and have it on mute. And every time YouTube, it says that I'm not on mute, so I just had to mute. So yeah, apologies about that. It's not on purpose, by the way.
Son. I know, but listen, it's never on purpose. But listen, always pay attention, son. That's what your professors tell you in class. But anyway, so I enjoy the international break. I mean, I can watch these matches, and it's always good. I will be tuning into Wales against Poland tonight, and I'll be hoping to see Wales avoid relegation. It won't be easy because Poland will be fielding Lewandowski, but he's been kept quiet of late, so I kind of fancy Wales' chances. Music to your ears, Ollie.
The next guest, he's outside, and it's Hannah. How you doing?
Hi. I'm good, always. Good to be back. And yeah. Mighty Southgate. Mighty Southgate taking England to League B.
League B, man.
It tastes like promotion.
Honestly, it's flipping annoying, man. But yeah, man, we're here to talk about Southgate. Start with you, Ollie. Obviously, England lost to Italy. Yeah, man, just give me your thoughts on that game.
Yeah, we played poor. Wasn't a good game. I thought we were going to win, but we didn't. But yeah.
Is there any players that you're disappointed with?
Not really. I can't think of any. Probably the whole team.
The whole team, man. The whole team. Yeah. But I don't know, man. It's just a shambles. Really, because World Cup, we need to win games because we need to prepare for the World Cup. World Cup is coming soon, so, and if we keep on losing games, I think that's going to destroy the mentality. But man, Luke says, "Who cares about Nation League?" Well, we have to come, man, because these games are before when the World Cup starts. So we have to start winning games. But Manny, we'll come to you. What's your thoughts on England's defeat to Italy?
Well, what can I say? I mean, it's as if we have a manager who's living off past glories, a manager who is so stubborn at times that he doesn't even bother to consider using some imagination to provide a decent formation. My biggest worry when it comes to Bukayo Saka is that if he isn't played in the right position at Arsenal, he could end up suffering. The good news with Southgate is that he put Saka on the left where he belonged. The bad news was it was at wing back, and I still believe that for a guy like him, he is much more suited to being a proper left winger. Although if he play, I do realise though that if he plays with Sterling, who's right-footed and on the left wing, they could interchange, and that's what makes that formation quite fluid. If you have the 4-2-3-1, but with the 5-3-2, but with the five at the back and 2 wing backs and 3 centre backs, that was the formation which might have worked reasonably well in the World Cup, taking them to the semi-finals. But even then, we didn't exactly distinguish ourselves against some really, really good teams. And the same story played itself out in the Euros when, ironically there, we went to 4 at the back for the most part, although we shifted in some games when we needed to. I think it's fair to say that teams have found Southgate out, but also when you're in a situation where the fans also see that his tactics aren't really the best and it's boring and repetitive and lacking in imagination and not even willing to give people called up to the squad a chance, that is when the writing should be on the wall. And I firmly believe that if we fail to reach the semi-finals or even the quarterfinals in Qatar, then Southgate should definitely walk. And this is also where sometimes fan pressure can play a role because, with England, for example, we are very passionate about the national team's performance, despite the apparent disdain in which we hold international football. And there can actually come an occasion when fan pressure can actually force the FA's hand and say, you know what, Gareth has done well, but like Brendan Rodgers at Leicester and a few other managers, he's taken us as far as we can really go and he can't take us any further. So it will be best if we have a new manager. And I remember speaking on another channel that a lot of people have been plumping for Graham Potter and Eddie Howe as choices for the England manager. Let me say right now that there is no way in hell that either of those billionaire-backed clubs will be willing to part with their recently appointed managers. Okay, Eddie Howe's not too recent, but still, unless they get a super compensation package from the FA. And however much money the FA has, I don't believe that they will want to plump up the cash. They want to stump it up. So who do we turn to? We might have to visit a foreign manager. Not the sex-crazed Swede, not the sergeant major Italian. Maybe an efficient German who knows how to speak good English and who knows the English system and who knows some players.
Thomas Tuchel, baby.
Absolutely.
No, not Thomas Tuchel. No
Get
chance.
to just for the bench Forest.
Monzi says get Sean Dyson.
No.
Yeah, Ryan, we'll come over to you, man. What's your thoughts on the whole situation with England and Southgate?
Yeah, I very much agree with Manny about everything, really. I think that it is time for him to go. I just think that the way we're playing, he's very stubborn in his ways. And, if you see against Italy, the goal we conceded so poor, wasn't it? And, the performances seem to be getting worse for me. And very, very poor. And I don't believe that we will get rid of him now. I think we'll wait till after the World Cup, sadly. I think we should have got rid of him months ago. But it is one of those, the FA will just kind of be stubborn in their own ways, really. And hello there, Luke. Thank you. Big up yourself too. But yeah, it's really poor, isn't it, though? It's just not good enough. The way we're playing, it's just... We don't seem to have any identity on that field. I don't see what we're trying to do on the field. It's just... It's so poor. And to leave someone like Tony out, who did get called up, and then leaving him out, that is a very strange decision for me. And I think it was crying out for someone like him maybe at some point throughout the game, because Kane did look very tired as the game went on. So, yeah, not good at all. And I don't think we will do anything in the World Cup, and I think we'll struggle to get out of the group, if I'm honest with you. Yeah, that's just my thoughts.
Mozzie says, what about Scott Parker? That's going to disappoint Manny. Look at Manny's reaction. Mozzie says, Neil Warnock would do it. Big up, fly Arsenal. How you doing?
Hey, bro. How are you?
All good. And let's get some through comments. Agreed, Ryan says, Luke. That's the second team Southgate has got a team relegated. Yep. Yeah, that's true. Luca, big up yourself. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Munzi talks, big up Luca, cool. And Luca says England needs someone like, I'm not gonna read his name.
Tommy Tuchel. He knows exactly what we need. Luke Shaw at the back, Harry Kane up front. England
I know
going to win
I
the
know you're
World
embarrassing
Cup.
yourself. Luke Shaw's not even a star for England. That's the funny thing. He's not a star. Munzi says we should get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Are you kidding me, mate?
Didn't
Kidding
Luke
me,
Shaw
mate?
start in the final?
Yeah, but let's go with Hannah, man. What's your thoughts, English?
Okay, so first of all, I don't know why you guys are angry. You lost to the European champions. And Southgate, he has to fix up quickly. Otherwise, because you looked at performance, it wasn't the best performance at all. Look at the players on the pitch. Look, maybe except the defensive line and the centre backs, the rest should be owning every player on that pitch. It's again Declan Rice. He doesn't show up for England. Dominated by the Italian maestro
Hannah, your
Jorginho.
fanboys wanted Rice. Your fanboys was crying over for Rice.
Yeah, not me. Our fanboys. They want Rice. He's not that good. That's why City didn't go for him. They went for Phillips. He's not that good. If he was that good, they would have gotten Rice and not Phillips. So yeah. He just needs to learn some tactics. Just get some tactics.
Yeah, get it from Ollie. Ollie here. Ollie on the stream. Get it from Ollie. Let me just go through the comments.
No, even get it from
Get it from me because I'm doing football coach on November. So if you want tactics, mate, get it from me. Shaw was decent, says Luke. But what do you mean by decent? Because we don't need decent. We need better than decent. Because for England, mate, you need to put in a better performance than decent. Daddy and the dog, big up Graham. Ollie misses you, by the way. Southgate's England team is a boys' club where Southgate has his favourites and will make any excuse to put the same players over and over again. Agreed. Give it. Giggsy.
One thing I'm glad about is that Mount didn't start.
Southgate, yeah. I remember one in his press conference. He will not pick favoritism. He will pick players based on form. When you go for the squad selected, Luke Shaw and Harry
Maguire. How did Maguire make it onto that? Unbelievable.
We're gonna talk about Maguire after Southgate because honestly, he's just annoying the fan base. Ollie is quiet. Exactly. Oh, you can't even spell his name right.
Oh yeah.
Daddy on the Don Rice would have cost triple the amount. That's why they went Phillips. Exactly. Obviously, Nightbot bigger. Luke links money. What are you eating? Says Luke.
Luke, it's sort of a sourdough crepe, which is quite popular in South Indian cuisine. It's called a dosa, very popular in South Indian restaurants around the UK. I don't know if there are too many in Brighton, but you should find them in London, in Leicester, in Birmingham. Look wherever you can find them.
100%. By Arsenal, we'll go over to you. What's your thoughts on the England situation with Southgate?
I think Southgate needs some time, maybe just to adjust his squad and maybe think about who he's going to pick. And maybe the World Cup could be his chance to maybe just see how he would get on. If he doesn't really perform in the World Cup, I think he's got to go 100%. We got us to a final in the Euros, which was excellent. It was good, but it's not really good enough. I think we should have won that 100%. Look at, I think they had a few injuries, Italy, in that game as well. So we definitely should have won it. And tactically, we kept on going back, and it's just not good enough.
I always said it. Ole Gunnar Southgate, man. I've always said it. Graham says, my wife loves dosa money. Yeah, that's good to hear. Luke says, rate it out of 10 money. Rate it out of 10 money.
Well, since I cooked it, I'm tempted to be biased, but I would probably say an
Chef
8
Marnie.
because I know I can do better. And look, I can cook Indian food, English food, whatever you like. Maybe I'll come over and whip up a feast
Yeah,
for
Ollie
you.
will. Ollie, if you want to go to Marnie's house, he'll cook you some food if you don't, Ollie.
No, listen, that will only happen if I'm back in the UK. I'm not going to have him come all the way over here to where I am in India just to eat my food.
Cook for Gordon Ramsay.
Luke
Chef
says,
Marnie and Chef Nippon.
make me one, says Luke. We got Toby here. How you doing, Toby? We're just talking about England and Southgate. So talk to me, man. Talk to me. How you feeling with Southgate?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. It's a pleasure being here once again, actually. Well, you look at Southgate and you look at over the years, look at his performances. So how has he fared? And to be frank, to be honest, I've had my doubts about Southgate's tactical prowess. Actually,
Yeah.
you know, you see how with the quality, with the kind of players that in the England national team, you expect these guys, you expect the lads to actually deliver, but because he's not a tactical genius, so it's actually evident in when you as a spectator, when you watch the match, you actually see what's happening. And was it not the game against was it Poland where they actually equalized? I don't know whether it was World Cup qualifying or thereabouts. I think Poland actually equalized last time. It was 1-1. So there's some changes Southgate ought to make, but he's a kind of coach who cannot cope under pressure. Make the right call, make the right substitution. He cannot do that, and we saw that in the Euros. We saw that in the Euros where he was supposed to make some kind of changes, but he just couldn't keep up with the pressure. And I think it's 5 games now without a win now for Southgate, which is very, 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 very poor. And 3 consecutive games without a goal. That tells you that there's a problem. There's a problem. The English team, the English players, you see them in their club at the club level, they are very, 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 very good. They score goals. They are actually, if not the best, one of the best in the club at the club level. And you expect these lads to come up to the senior team, to the national team, and deliver. So obviously, Southgate is the problem. He has long dwelled on individual brilliance, and that individual brilliance cannot carry on for long, cannot be able to push him through. And this is the World Cup, and the World Cup is fast approaching, and I don't think it's definitely going to work out because his ways now, it's coming out now to be old fashioned. If you know what I mean. And you look at what he said before selection, before the team selection. He said something about picking them on form, not he's going to pick players on form. And definitely we know Maguire hasn't been here. Maguire hasn't really been on form. You look at Luke Shaw, there are some big question marks that we have to ask ourselves. If he's saying he's going to pick on form, so why pick these players? Why pick these players? Could that be favoritism? That's a big question for everybody to answer. So there's a big question mark right now. There's a big question mark. And I think the players themselves, the generality of the players, I don't think they will definitely want to see Southgate lead them into the World Cup because the morals are down, and I'm sure a lot of them didn't want to see Maguire on the pitch, and probably Luke Shaw and some of them, the likes of Sancho. There are some other better players. Saka was wasteful. Saka was not really at the best of his performances against.
Because they played him at left wing back. That's why he wasn't as good as.
So you can imagine. You can imagine. So it boils down to Southgate. What formula, what tactical plans do you have? What can you do aside? Can you rely on your tactics rather than relying on the individual brilliance of your players? And that is the big question that we have to ask ourselves. And I don't think Southgate is capable.
This chat is crazy. I'm just gonna bring up. Money says, "Amazing is always better, Chris."
The chef has spoken, people.
Leeds United best. Oh yeah, you're joking, mate. Does Ollie talk? Well, we'll see. The wheels have fallen off the England skateboard so badly that it will be a surfboard by the time we get to the World Cup. Yeah, man. It is what it is. Guys, I put a question in the comments. Does Ollie look like Maguire? I want.
No.
Yes, haha, from Wish. Oh my days, there. Right. Gareth Southgate picks players like Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, etc. Don't play with the team. Exactly, man. Because when you look at this season, Malacia has been starting more games than Luke Shaw. Varane, Martinez, they both played more than Maguire. So I just don't understand the logic between. And also, not picking Sancho is a disgrace, by the way, Southgate. I hope you do read that. So that's.
I definitely think Ivan Toney should have played in that game that we had. 100%.
Well, Ollie doesn't like him, apparently. Ollie.
I was sitting there and I looked at the selection and I thought, what the hell? Why is Toney not playing?
Well, I don't think
if it's any consolation, he should get to play against Germany, and maybe Southgate felt that, playing him against Italy wouldn't have been necessarily the best way given the Italian system. I think if you have him play against someone like a team like Germany, who have obviously a different system to Italy, then maybe that's a good test for him. And it might not be fair, because I just hope that if Toney doesn't get picked for the World Cup, that he doesn't consider his England career over, because, Kane can't go on forever and they will need some options. And Hanno, we were covering that England-Germany game. I think it was Off the Campus Boxing who was covering the England game. He was noting that Jude Bellingham in that game looked a little bit like a fish out of water at times. I think he probably did slightly improve as the game went on, but it was too little too late. And this sort of segues back into the disjointed nature of Southgate's selections. You say you pick on form. You say you want to give debutants their chance, give them their chance. Why say one? Why do you want to speak out of both sides of your mouth? Are you the England manager or a Tory politician, for crying out loud?
I think if Southgate was speaking about form, then Ivan Toney definitely should have been played. I think if they said that he's, doing the selection on form, I think Ivan Toney should have got his chance to play that game, and I think Southgate's just talked out of his arse really in that game.
Well, agreed. But then how do you drop Harry Kane, who's also been scoring goals? How do you make a system such that Toney can fit in? Where could he have fit in?
Because it was a friendly game. I feel like maybe he should have selected maybe Toney just to give him a go, see how he plays for England, see how he works. It's a friendly. It's not. It's not really a big competition like the World Cup. I'd understand if we was to go into the World Cup and play Ivan Toney straight away, like people would be pretty mad. But I think he needs his chance to see if he can score goals, and then as soon as we can see what he's like, we can make the decisions playing for the World Cup or not.
Yeah. We've got a comment from Luke saying Toby looks like an Arsenal supporter, is he? Nah, he's not an Arsenal supporter, only money and
he's a Ronaldo supporter. That's all.
Yeah, man.
Proud Manchester.
He's part of the Ronaldo fanboys group in the United fan base, isn't it? Brazil World Cup winners. Yeah, of course. If you've seen the options, if you've seen the squad depth, they have squad depth.
Yeah, Brazil, absolutely. There will be high chance.
And they attack Anthony. Anthony, man. They got Anthony from United. Got Vinicius. They got Rodrigo. They got good players, man. Get on 7-2. Tony is injured. What? Wait, what? Is he injured? No way. I don't think that's true. I don't think Tony's injured. We got coming from the end of the door. When we played Andorra and San Marino, why didn't Southgate give all the untested players a chance? No point Kane playing those games, but Gareth won't drop him as he's chasing records. Exactly. Tony is injured. I'm going Brazil. Oh, he's going with Brazil. I don't know. Who do you guys? Ollie, we'll start with you because you've been World Cup winners. Who do you think will win it?
It's tough. I don't want to say England. We're not going to win the World Cup. Maybe France. I don't know. Brazil is a good shout. Spain, maybe? No. I don't know. No. I don't know. Maybe Argentina, are they a shout or not?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. If Hardik was here, he would probably say Portugal, but yeah, he's not here. Maybe Toby will say as well. For me, I don't know.
Don't laugh. He said Spain. Ha ha ha.
No, Luke is joking, man. Okay. No, it's fine. Already, don't cry. Fourth cup. I don't know, man. It could be France. I mean, the Champs. I'm not a massive fan of the Champs. But no, I'm gonna go with Brazil.
Yeah, same. I think Brazil. They've got a deadly squad.
Their manager isn't that good.
The France manager for me, I just don't like him. The Champs has never been good for me. He's after the one when they won the obviously they won the World Cup. Is after that it's just been nowhere. Luke says no, not France. Daddy on the dance says Argentina looking decent at the moment. Yeah, so is Portugal. No, let's not lie, Portugal looking alright. But yeah, start with Ryan. Who do you think will win the World Cup?
Well, I don't want to comment on the World Cup too much, but if I had to choose somebody, I would definitely go. No, I would not go for England because that is just taking the absolute. Because we couldn't be any further away from winning that World Cup now than we ever will. But anyway, I think Brazil will win this because they've got lots of talent in their squad, and I just think that I just think they're due to win this, and yeah, just something at the back of my mind saying so. So, yeah, Brazil for me.
Money, any thoughts in your mind for World Cup?
As an England fan, it hurts me to say this, but I think that this could very well be Argentina's year. And the reason why is because ever since that the debacle that was Russia, which saw several players from that squad end up being axed, I think it's quite fair to say that Lionel Scaloni has steadied the ship well. He's brought Argentina their first Copa America success in quite some time, beating Brazil in the final, coached by Tite himself. And they seem to have a really good spine of players who, if they are maintained, will certainly play well to that system. It was a bit frustrating as well seeing some matches in the Copa America where Scaloni wasn't really trying to get the best out of Sergio Aguero at the time. I mean, there was so much attacking talent, and yet it was as if Messi and just one more striker were the only ones preferred. But it was a system that was built around Messi. He enjoys playing for Argentina now. There was one point when he couldn't stand wearing that jersey. Now it's as if whenever he puts on the Albi Celeste jersey, he feels so alive and so happy. And, their defense is quite solid. They're currently on a 34-match unbeaten run, which is currently the longest. They've beaten Italy's run, and it could very well continue. Certainly, the friendly matches they've got and their opponents in the group stage will not be expected to break that unbeaten record. And I think, there just seems to be that much more of a calmness and serenity around Messi and the team, knowing that even if Messi doesn't deliver, someone else will. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. If Messi can't score, someone else must, or something like that. And of course, I may be biased, but in Emiliano Martinez, they've got one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Right up there with Alisson and a few others. And with Brazil, they are in with a shout, but the pressure will tell on them. With Neymar, you just know that will happen. So Argentina for me.
Interesting. Hannah, what are you saying?
It's so tough. It's actually so
Definitely
tough.
not South Africa.
No, they're not saying it. But next year, the next World Cup is going to be in it. Trust.
Yeah, same with Albania as well, yeah. If your striker finally decides to turn up.
Yeah. But he's a Chelsea striker. What do you expect from him? He doesn't turn up. Chelsea strikers don't turn up.
He missed 3 huge chances last night. That's what I'm saying, because I watched the game. He missed 3 huge chances. But, anyways.
Haven't you already learned? Chelsea strikers don't turn up. No matter who they are, they don't turn up.
I'm not sure why no one's saying about Tammy Abraham, because he might get called up and he might do bits for him as well. Tammy Abraham is one to watch for me as well. I mean, Abraham, and if you look at what he's done for Roma, I think he's done it right. So I think Abraham should
for me,
go on.
Argentina or France has to be. I think Brazil for me because of their manager. I don't think he can handle the big stage. Definitely Argentina or France. If I had to put money on it, I have to say France. So retain it.
France. I'm not sure if Arsenal's there, but if you are,
Yeah, I am, bro.
World Cup, who do you think is going to win that?
I definitely think Brazil. They've got a very strong chance with Anthony, Martinez, lots of great talents, great players. They did excellent in their friendly against Ghana. They had 9 to 1 shots on goal, 19 shots to 5, 54.0% possession, which is just dominant football, really. Like, you just can't say that they're not going to win the World Cup this year. I think if they play dominant football, they've got great players. I think they've definitely got a chance of winning that.
Yeah, 100%. Toby, are you going to say Portugal and back, Ronaldo?
Portugal.
Well, to be honest, I'm not going to be sentimental. I'm not bringing sentiment into my my own view. Actually, I've said it all along, except something happens. But I think Brazil have a very good chance in winning this World Cup. They have it's a serial team, it's a serial team, if you know what I mean. Like, you have quality players out there in the Europe top 5 leagues that are actually doing well. These lads are doing well. There's the Vinicius Junior, there's Rafinha, there's Neymar, there's Richarlison, there's Gabriel Jesus, there's Thiago Silva, there's Casemiro. You keep mentioning this Paqueta guy in West Ham. There are lots of them, and their squad depth is actually one to reckon with. Like, they have a very good squad depth. So I see Brazil making an impact. I'm sure they would have learned from their past mistakes and all of that. So if they're able to, stick together, stick to the game plan, there's the Anthony. If they stick to the game plan, trust me, I believe. I'm so confident. I know that they are going to go far.
Let's not rule out Argentina as well, especially with Lissandro Martinez, the butcher.
Yeah, but trust me. We're talking about squad depth. Yeah, we're talking about the squad depth. I think Brazil have that compared to any other team in my opinion. These Brazilian lads, they are actually doing well all round.
100%.
They have a very good chance.
And for me, if someone was to ask me who'd be your favorites to win the Ballon d'Or, I'm going with Neymar. Neymar, man, he's been outstanding, man. But he's not. He won't get the credits because obviously his name is not Messi right now. But Neymar, for me, he's just looking unstoppable. But yeah, man. Let's bring up the comments. Vlogs soon, not this season, but in the future maybe. I don't know who he's directing that to. I want to get you on the vlog when I next go. Either he's talking to me, Toby, Hardy. I don't know, but if you want, you can say you was talking to about that. That Ghana team was missing Thomas Partey. Let's put that in perspective. Yeah, 100%. Right, I'm off to set my watch along. See you guys. Big up Luke, man. Big up yourself. Agree, Neymar, the GOAT. Yeah, man. What? I know.
No. He's not the GOAT.
Oh, okay. Yeah. To be fair, you do have a Neymar agenda because you said Chelsea don't get Neymar. Don't get Neymar. And said Chelsea don't get Neymar. So I can see that. But no, I think half Chelsea fans of Neymar want him anyways. But obviously, the wage is an issue for Neymar as well. So, yeah, and next topic, you guys can laugh. Harry Maguire. Obviously,
okay, Ollie.
I'm going to try to bring up some quotes. But Ollie, man, talk to me about Harry Maguire. Obviously, for England's shirt, if you take away the England-Italy match, he has been playing good. But now he's come out and said he doesn't read into the criticism. He doesn't care about that. But overall, what's been your thoughts on Maguire this season with Man United and with England shirt?
He hasn't really impressed me. He hasn't done much, but I haven't really seen him much this season. I saw him a bit in the England game. He was all right. He wasn't the best, and he hasn't really played much for United. So I don't rate him. But no, I don't really have much to say on him. I don't think he's the best player. But for England, he's all right. Not the best.
Right, I'm gonna share my screen. I'll get to Ryan for this. So let me share my screen. Just let me know. Hang on. Let me know if you guys can see this. Hang on. Right. Hang on. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just make it bigger. Right. Harry Maguire quotes. Hang on. Whoa. I came off the back of 3 positive games with England in the summer and a good preseason. I felt really good. Obviously, the manager Eric Ten Hag decided to leave me out for a game, and the team have been winning since. So basically, he's saying that he started the season well, which for me is questionable because you started the first 2 games and we both lost them. So I don't understand the quote there. But Ryan, mate, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Harry Maguire, let's be honest, has been very, very poor, and he knows it. So the fact that he's coming out and saying these things is just not helping himself at all. I think that he has never really. I mean, for Man United, when he came, I don't think he's ever really lived up to the billing, really. Because do you remember at Leicester? He was very good at Leicester, but going to Man United, it's a different ball game here, isn't it? And I just don't think he's been a very good player since he came to United, really. But yeah, for England, he's been terrible. Like I said, I don't even know how he gets in the team stuff. But what I do is just because Southgate has his favourites. That's the only reason, because he's been so poor. But yeah, strange quotes to come out with there in that piece that you've just shared. But Maguire has to improve, and he has to improve massively. And he knows it. You've just got to be honest with yourself here. But he isn't honest with himself. He's just lying to himself, and you've got to just. He needs to put the work in. And if you're not prepared to do that, then you shouldn't be coming out with silly things. But yeah, I've not been very impressed with Maguire ultimately. And yeah, he does deserve the criticism he's getting.
Yeah, 100%. Martin, we move over to obviously Maguire. I don't know what's your thoughts, but for me, it's just that when criticism comes, he has to blame others. Like he has to blame the goal. I don't know if you've seen him, but it just came out recently this week that a source close to Maguire saying that Maguire is apparently blaming De Gea for conceding goals. He's blaming other teammates. So he doesn't like to blame himself, doesn't he, Marnie? What's your thoughts?
No, he doesn't. And everything that Ryan's just said over there has been absolutely spot on with regard to how he hasn't lived up to the expectations of him. And here's the thing. I mean, nobody is saying that it is in any way easy being such an expensive buy for a club like Manchester United. But if you are a person who believes that you have the chops to or has what it takes to excel at the top level, you know, you've got to accept that criticism of your performance when you have a bad day and when you aren't able to adapt to the system and when you consistently make mistakes is perfectly justified. And, you know, it would have been one thing if he had, spoken to the papers talking about his personal struggles. But for him to go ahead and throw some of his teammates under the bus, if it's confirmed that he did that, then I'm sorry, but that is completely poor form. And, that is not the way for a senior player for club and country to behave. I mean, what's the guarantee that he won't do the same thing with his England teammates if he has a poor run of form and if he ends up getting dropped? With the Scotland connection, I don't know if we have any Scottish fans in the chat, but I do seem to remember a situation where Barry Ferguson and Alan McGregor, both Rangers stars, if you will, were left out of the team when George Burley was manager. And to protest their dropping. I don't know if they necessarily. I don't think they threw any of their teammates under the bus, but they did something just as bad. They apparently sat over there and made these gestures with the V sign on their faces, and that was sort of a means of saying, I mean, you all know what it means back over there. I don't want to repeat the words used, but you know what that means. And everyone in Scotland was completely apoplectic, and those two players were banned from playing for Scotland ever again. Although McGregor somehow ended up getting a recall to the squad, and I firmly believe that McGregor never should have been called back. But the reason why I bring that example here in Oris is that at any level, whether it's club or international, you can't be seen to throw a strop like that, and you sure as eggs can't be seen to just throw your teammates under the bus. So if you do that, then you deserve all the criticism that you can get, and I certainly wouldn't be surprised if the club decide to, confront him, demand an explanation from him, and then leave him with no choice but to issue some sort of a groveling attempt at retracting those statements and saying, I'm still committed to Manchester United, blah, blah, blah. And what effect will that have on his England chances going forward? I don't know if either Southgate or the new manager will be willing to pick a guy who could potentially be such a disruptive influence, given his seniority. So he's got a lot for which to answer. And he is definitely going to have to pull up his socks. And I think if it is confirmed that he did in fact mean those things and say those things, he owes his teammates an apology. And if he is to be dropped from the squad for a certain period, I say, so be it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, to be fair, going back to your point, Money, like I 100% agree, because I think a report came out when Ten Hag came in. Apparently, he applied some rules saying if you have some issues, come to my office first before you start leaking out and all that. So I think Maguire is in danger. Big up Hannah, by the way. He's got to go now, so big up Hannah for that. Yeah. But as I was saying, Ten Hag, he doesn't like people when they leak out stuff. He wants if as I said, if players have any issues, he has to go straight to his office. So I'm not sure what Ten Hag's gonna do. He might call him from his office. He might have a meeting with him or something like that. But I think Maguire is in trouble when he comes back from his duties. But yeah, Toby, we'll start with you, man. Do you think Maguire is in trouble, and do you think Ten Hag will have a say on it?
Yeah. Well, Harry Maguire, I think his ordeal did not just start today, and we've seen that in previous seasons, how inconsistent he can be. He makes errors leading to goals and all of that. So his performances over the years till this very moment, even when Ten Hag became the manager of the club, it's very glaring for us to know that Maguire is overrated and is really, really an average player, and with the reports of him coming out to blame, his fellow mate, blaming David De Gea and all of that, based on communication and all of that. I think it's a flimsy excuse, and like what Manny said, if truly they investigate and they find out that he really said those things, then I think he should be stripped off the captaincy, being the captain of the club, because as a captain, you don't do such. You don't act so mediocre, in my opinion. He's supposed to carry everyone along, and this is based on form. And you look at the previous managers we've had, they kept sticking with Harry Maguire, and the result hadn't been, palatable. We've actually been making series of mistakes defensively, and now a new manager is coming in and had that guts, had that, courage and audacity to be able to, to bench you because he feels he needs to make changes. And thank God there's the Lisandro Martinez and a fit Varane now who have taken up the opportunity to show us what they are capable of doing. And for Maguire being on the bench, it is a good thing. It's a good thing, actually, because it's very glaring. We can actually see it. We, the spectators, can actually see it. We can actually see the performances. And when Maguire was actually brought in, we saw he made errors. Sometimes, he takes yellow cards that are unwarranted. He makes silly mistakes. So this is very obvious. So for you to now come and start blaming your teammates based on communication and all of that. Trust me, it's a stupid excuse and a flimsy excuse. And like I said, if the manager comes out to investigate that and discovers Harry Maguire actually said those stuffs, then he will be stripped off. We look at qualities, we look at the manager's tactics. What does he want? What does he want from his defenders? And with the likes of Lisandro Martinez, though he may not have that height, but he's fast. As a defender, he's fast, and he has also there's also the Rafa Varane there who can actually cover, can actually cover the dirty work that Lisandro Martinez might actually do. A ball playing defender, if you know what I mean. But Maguire being so slow and makes errors, even he collides with his own teammates. Like, trust me, it's very obvious. And the recent I think interview he had, he said, I am the Manchester United captain, and I know I get a lot of criticisms, and it's just for me to train hard, and all those stuffs are just unwarranted. You have to go back to your drawing board. You have to sit, check, know what is actually happening to yourself, to make sure you improve on your game and do less of the talking. Because right now, the whole fan base, like majority of the Manchester United fan base, they are against Harry Maguire. And I'm confident, I've said this before, you guys should take note of what I'm about to say again. Maguire will be sold. It could be next summer. Even if we don't get as much as 80 million, which I know is not going to be possible. We'll definitely sell Harry Maguire, because I feel Harry Maguire out of that defense and the captaincy being taken away from him, taken off him. I think it's a transition. And we can actually feel it. We, the fans, can actually feel it in the performances of these lads. I think it is a step. It is a tactical, a tactical plan, a tactical setup from the manager. If we look closely at what he's doing at the moment, and each time he gives Maguire the opportunity, Maguire bottles them up. So I don't think he will definitely get back to the team, except maybe injuries or fatigue. He could just have that opportunity. But I'm confident in seasons to come. It may not be in January, but definitely come summer, we may get Maguire off and probably get one or two defenders in the club.
100%. And the thing is, when Maguire says, I'm the Manchester United captain, yeah, but why is it that you can't take criticism and you can't blame yourself?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I just don't understand. Like, captains, you're the captain of one of the biggest club in the world, and still you're blaming keepers, you're blaming your teammates as to why
we've actually seen David De Gea, and we've actually seen there was a period in time David De Gea came out. He was courageous enough to come out to meet the press. I think, was it when we lost 4-0 to was he Brentford?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. He came out. No, but he took that upon himself to take the criticisms, to take the blame for the poor performances of his teammates. That is what a leader does. That is what the captain does. That is what somebody who has the captaincy attributes, that's what they do. Rather than coming out, you're blaming your teammates, or you're trying to shy away from what is at stake, all in the name of I am the captain, and such criticisms are expected. Come on, we don't want that. We, the fans, are actually tired because you make series of mistakes. Almost every time you come on the pitch, if you don't foul your own player, there are series of times Maguire he has collided with his teammate. He has collided with Luke Shaw. He has collided with Cristiano Ronaldo. He has collided with Paul Pogba. Series of stuffs, and I'm very confident his players are trying to be very, very professional, and they don't want to make it sound like, probably get the media attention. But within them, I'm sure they are all happy with the treatment of Harry Maguire, because they feel, even David De Gea, in my opinion, I think he knows that Maguire is not good enough.
And the thing is, Toby, if you are losing games, when the league's coming out, if you're losing games, I don't understand. But when we're winning and the league's coming out, that's when I don't understand, because we're winning and then there's still leaks coming out. And the thing is, nothing has changed, man. Nothing has changed. Richard Arnold came out in the summer saying we cleared out the leaks and all that. Well, Pogba, you cleared them out. Lingard, you cleared out, but Maguire's still there. Luke Shaw's still here. Wan-Bissaka's still here, so you haven't cleared out the dressing room. So, as I said, what Richard Arnold said in a pub in the summer, it was PR, man. It was to make the fans excited. And the thing is, another quote he said, "Oh, well, we have the money to sign De Jong and all this." Well, De Jong in May said, "Oh, that's when I decided to stay in Barcelona." So basically, we were prioritizing a player for 3 months that already decided to stay at a club in May. So that tells you about Manchester United Football Club. But I should expect Ten Hag to strip away the captaincy. This is my opinion. I think this will happen. Actually, to be fair, I think it will happen. I think Ten Hag will strip the captaincy away. Probably give it to Bruno now because we've been winning games when Bruno's the captain now. So we'll probably give it to Bruno or maybe Ronaldo. But I just think Maguire won't start any games unless it's Europa League, FA Cup games. Maguire needs to stop leaking up, man, because it's honestly embarrassing. But Talk Sport, man, he's been coming out in Talk Sport saying, "Oh, the leaks are clicks and all that." Well, mate, you're the one that's spreading the leaks to your friends, and listen, I've just had enough, man. Dressing room leaks because Ten Hag doesn't like this. He will sort it out. I think as soon as Maguire comes back, there will be a meeting. I think Ten Hag will try to get. To be fair, I think he will try to get rid of him in January. I think maybe January because January is a good month where Ten Hag can also get additions and also sell players that he doesn't like. If you think about it, August to January, Ten Hag will have enough to decide who's good enough for the club. But that's just my opinion. I don't think the club will do it because the club will say, "Oh, but he's 80 million, we can't sell him." But now we'll see who's actually in charge, the board or the manager, because in the past there's always been the board. So we'll see who's in charge now. But I just expect Maguire to still remain on the bench, especially for the Manchester derby. I still expect this. This is why Martinez is a fan favorite because we both, all of us, likes passion, his desire for the club. We all like Martinez, but when Maguire comes on, there's boos around the crowd. There's boos. There's crazy chants. So I don't know, man. Maguire. I think every United fans have had enough, and I think he will leave. So I agree with you. I think he will leave. But for Arsenal, we'll come over to you. Your thoughts on Harry Maguire?
I definitely think that I don't think that it's De Gea's fault at all. I think you see Martinez and Varane doing quite well at the moment, even with De Gea in goal. I'm not really seeing any problems, to be honest with you, and it seems to be that Maguire is the problem. I think maybe his captaincy is very unlikely. I think it should go to either, like, as you say, Bruno, Ronaldo, or even Christian Eriksen could even have a go at it. I think he's definitely a good player, very good with just like guiding the players and stuff like that. I think he's definitely got a chance and maybe possibly getting it maybe later down the line, but not at the minute, but of course later on. I think, it's bad for Maguire to blame De Gea because not one point have I seen, when I've watched Manchester United games, not one point have I seen Maguire speaking to De Gea, yelling at him or something like that for making an error. It's always been David De Gea screaming at Maguire or something like that. It's never, ever been the other way around. I think it's wrong for Maguire to be posting out these statements when, there's no proof to even back up that it's De Gea's fault, when we can see with our own eyes that it's his fault most of the time, and it's never really De Gea's fault. I think, as you said, after the 4-0 defeat to Brentford, De Gea came and apologised for his performances, and you haven't seen Maguire do that. And you've seen Maguire have poor performances, and he's never spoke up about it. He's never been the bigger man and the captain to say, "I've had a bad game." This is, just. I think he's just got to go. I think they need to get rid of him.
100%. I know you're back. That's a surprise there. Hannah, you still there, by the way? You hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. We're just talking about your favorite Harry Maguire. Talk to me, man. What's your thoughts on Harry Maguire?
Maguire. Okay, so after the quotes, and I see some people backing him. The thing a big thing for him is he just needs. Everyone should they shouldn't defend him because look what he did for United the past few seasons. His defending has been atrocious. As even some games for England, he's been poor. So he has no right coming out of those statements saying, "I've been like a bit better," and it's all that. Nah, he shouldn't come out of that. It's disgraceful to himself, to even to Ten Hag, his United teammates, and his England teammates. Yeah.
100%.
Elias got Southgate team. Elias, first worry about your own.
Mate, yeah, mate, exactly.
Worry about Denmark, mates. Worry about them.
It's still sad that we beat him 2-1. So, Elias, mate, you've been hiding. Can't lie, you've been hiding when United beat you 2-1. But it's all good. It's all good. I thought Liverpool were going to win the league. But yeah, man, I don't know, Maguire, because when you came in, I was just talking about Maguire. I was just briefly talking about him. I just think he'll be sold, man. Hopefully he'll be sold. But if Ten Hag is in charge of Man United, Maguire will be sold. If it's the board, I would want to keep him because of the price and the value.
Because I believe we're still definitely going to get Jurriën Timber. You know, that Ajax defender Ten Hag actually wanted to get before. Yeah, Maguire has to accept his new role as a backup defender, and it remains to be seen if he's definitely going to accept that role, which I doubt. A player of his magnitude, you know, he might decide to leave Manchester United, but I think he will leave, and we might end up moving in for Jurriën Timber. If you know, reports, if you can all remember, because of the World Cup, that was why he decided to stay put then. But I'm sure definitely we will get quality replacement for Harry Maguire.
Yeah, I think Ten Hag would want to bring in one of his former Ajax, but I think his name is Kenneth Taylor. I don't know. Yeah, Kenneth Taylor. He's 20 years old. I've seen reports saying Ten Hag wants him. So far, I've watched him in a couple of games. He's been decent. He's been good. He's a midfielder. So obviously, we need more midfielders because in my opinion, I still don't think we have enough midfielders as squad depth. So why not? But yeah, man. Marnie, do you think Maguire will be eventually sold from Manchester United?
Well, if he does get sold, as people would fear, he will be sold for a huge cut price deal because I definitely do not see any even decent club who might be willing to take him be willing to spend anywhere near as much money. So if he is sold, he will be it will be at a loss. My big question though is how many years does he have left on his current contract?
2 years.
2 years. So it is also possible that he could, end up staying at Manchester United, sort of having that kind of bench role, and then just being allowed to wind down his contract, if you will, because I mean, like I said, Aris, I don't see any really, really big club, or any club for that matter, being willing to spend that much money. So if the club are willing to, if they consider him that much of a miscreant that they are willing to get rid of him by hook or crook, and if they're willing to take that big loss on him, almost like the way Arsenal have taken a loss so far on Nicola Pepe, then it's all well and good. The only hope is that they won't repeat that mistake again.
Maguire runs out in 4 years. Sorry, Maguire runs.
Oh, for heaven's sake! Then they're going to have to find a way. It probably will be as part of a loan deal, as with Pepe, and then with an option to buy, because there's no way that they can allow him to. Because if it were for 1 or 2 years, then I would say let him run down his contract. But 4 years, no, we don't need another Winston Bogarde.
Yeah,
you were saying
when he signed for us, he signed a 7-year contract. So yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but I have to go again.
That's fine. Do you want to pick up the channel, Hannah? Do you want to pick up your channel? Oh. But yeah, big up panel. Oh, okay, it's fine. I'll just shout out the channel Coach Corner on YouTube. He's gonna watch along soon. Big up Flair family for joining as well. So make sure you guys follow them on Instagram. But yeah, Maguire does run out in 4 years, so yeah.
Well, then
not
in that case, in that case, they're going to have to look to try and possibly, get him out on a loan deal, and then maybe have someone buy him, because at least with a loan deal, the club
Maybe.
doesn't pay all of his salary, and it also remains to be seen what his England future will be like, because I definitely don't see him, continuing for too long beyond the World Cup, and if England end up flattering to deceive, this could very well be the end of his England career too. So what does he have left? What will be on his horizon? It's going to be a tumultuous few months for him. I wonder if he will come out of it unscathed. But yeah, I think this could very well be the beginning of the end for Harry Maguire at Manchester United.
100%. Ryan, do you think Maguire will be sold as well? Last question.
Yeah, I definitely think you have to. But the problem is I'm not sure many clubs will want him in this current form. He's not putting himself in a shop window, is it? So maybe, something that you said, Manny, about a loan, it would potentially be the most sensible option. But my question is who on earth decided to put Harry Maguire on a 7-year contract? I've never heard of 7-year contract. I think it's just a foolish decision by the football club. And yeah, they've been made to pay for that. But yeah, you don't offer someone such a big contract like that. But yeah, I think that he has to go because he's just not up to the challenge at Manchester United, and he's not prepared to change that. And I think he needs to, really focus on his game, because I think he spends far too much time speaking to the media rather than actually doing the, he needs to be doing the talking on the field, not off it, and stop blaming others, because you need to look at yourself. So yeah, and the true characters as well in football actually own up when they're not playing well, and they will take criticism, but he doesn't. So yeah, it is time up for him at Manchester United. But I don't know who will, like I said, I think a loan deal will be more sensible at the moment, because I don't see anybody buying him, and it depends how much you value him at as well. So yeah,
100%. We're just gonna get some comments in Ilias and Southgate in. Nah, man. I don't know, because Maguire World Cup, Southgate will probably select him again. Let's be honest. I think Southgate will probably pick him again for the World Cup. But it's gonna be interesting to see who Southgate leaves out in World Cup, who he brings in. But it's gonna be very interesting. But yes, I think we've discussed all top. Yeah, let me double check. Yeah, we have. So we're just gonna get people to shout out their socials. So we'll start off with Marnie. Do you wanna shout your Instagram or Twitter? Or both of them?
Yeah, you can catch me on Twitter at Thangatherai1981. That's my surname and my year of birth. And on Instagram, you can find me at Manny Thangatherai1981, which is my full name and my year of birth. And I don't have a YouTube channel of my own as of yet, but you can catch me on several channels on YouTube. Del Boy Gunner TV, Stephen Featley TV, Oris Talks Football, obviously. And thanks a lot for having me here. Enjoyed this stream immensely. Hanno's Coach Corner as well. Big up to him. Wonderful chap. King's Football Show, the Football for Thought podcast on NS Sports TV, and a few others soon to be in the pipeline, maybe. And I'm just happy to go where I'm invited, and I'm allowed to say my piece and just contribute to a discussion and add something to it, add a different perspective. And that's all I have to say for the moment. Thanks for having me, and enjoy your Sunday.
Big up Marnie for joining. Ryan, you want to shout out your socials?
Yeah, I have my own YouTube channel, so you can find me on there, Huddersfield Town Fan TV, of course. Plenty more content to come from me, so please go and subscribe. I'm nearly at 150 subscribers, so it would mean a lot to me. Also, you can find me on my socials, Twitter and Instagram, HTFTV8 as well, so please give me a follow on there. But yeah, as always, Ori, thank you for having me on the channel. I really enjoyed this past hour.
That's fine. Toby, you ready? Okay, there you go. Shout your
socials. You guys can reach me on Instagram, Toby Mikey, TOBEMIKKY, and I have a Man U fan account at _MUFC Global. Yeah, so it's a pleasure being here. a perfect platform for me to, to meet great minds, talk about Manchester United, talk about sports. And this is big ups to you lads. Big up for this fantastic channel, fantastic opportunity to be able to, for us to show the world that we are actually, we are sound, we know football. So big up lads. It's a pleasure.
100%. Big up everyone, obviously, for giving their time in. It was a good stream, but guys, honestly, smash the likes before I end it literally in about 5 seconds. But smash the likes, subscribe if you're new. Make sure to follow everyone's socials down below. But yeah, man, we'll catch you for Tuesday for the Manchester Derby preview, and then Wednesday will be the North London Derby preview. And there's going to be so many content, so make sure to turn on the notification bell. But yeah, man, we'll see you next time. Peace.